Hello, who do I have the pleasure of speaking with?
Amanda Ocampo.
Okay, thank you. So I'm gonna ask you about what are the things that you personally fear, not simply phobias but actual fears.
I feel like I don't have any fears, but I feel like a phobia of mine would probably be misinformation. It's not necessarily the misinformation, but more so reacting badly to it or other people reacting badly to misinformation. So I think that would be something, because there's so many times when either social media or just in general, like, we can get misinformation and automatically assume something horrible is gonna happen, and then something worse will happen because of that reaction. So yeah.
Okay. Do you have any personal experiences that you've encountered using social media?
Well, just today, everybody was saying the world's gonna end because of the eclipse and all the earthquakes that have been happening. They're like, okay, the eclipse is coming. Like, today's the day the world ends. And I was just like, I knew myself that it wasn't true, but so many other people were taking it seriously and overreacting and going and buying supplies like tuna or just canned food and stuff in case it was ending. And I was just like, it's crazy how people believe everything on the internet. So yeah.
Okay. Before we head any further, I was wondering what your positionality is. So that can be like your gender, your identity, any of that.
Okay, so I am a college student. I'm a woman, and I am Hispanic. So yeah.
Okay. What role did your parents, peers, teachers, etc. play in creating and perpetuating a culture of fear in your social circle?
So I feel like, especially with my parents, who are not as new as they used to be to like social media or the internet, whatever they used to see on the internet, they would believe is true. So let's say a political figure would say something and the words were twisted or something like that. They would believe the twisted words over the real words because it would just fit their perspective on things. So they would tell me this information, which would then make me think of, let's say, a certain political leader in a bad light because of the misinformation. Or just in general, like, friends influence the way you think often. And if a friend is like, oh, I saw this on the internet and this is true, you might think it's true yourself. So I think that's the way parents or friends can influence this particular fear.
Okay. What role does politics and the fact that it is an election year play in the creation or perpetration of fear?
So I think now that the election year is coming up, everything for the political leaders who are running is twisted or changed to benefit another leader, which is, if I'm correct, illegal to do. But I feel like people just like to, even if it's misinformation, they like to believe it's true because it strengthens their opinions and their thoughts on something. So yeah.
Okay. What steps can you, and by extension all of us, take to reduce fear-driven actions and emotions?
So I think just educating everybody on how to distinguish misinformation and when it is and when it isn't, because not many people understand the difference or know when they're looking at misinformation. I myself just recently started like distinguishing well what is misinformation and what is true, or what is biased and what isn't, because biased information can also lead to misinformation because they support a certain viewpoint, or just in general, it could be like anything. They could just support something and it could twist words, just, the whole concept of misinformation. So yeah, I think just educating people and teaching them how to be able to distinguish what's true and what's not.
Okay. Thank you so much for your time. Have a good day.
Thank you.